on test today we have the Rauch spreader with EMC controls, this axis M8 variable spreader. It's a relatively new concept. It takes the forward speed from a sensor or a tractor, if possible, communicates it back to the spreader, and uses electronic controls to actuate the spreading rate constantly on the move. The spreader measures the flow rates every 2 milliseconds. And you can see here from the top, the shutter position opens and closes to reflect each side of the machine. So this is at 101, this is at 92. The advantage of this is that each side of the machine is independent. So the flow rate is guaranteed to be the same, or the output on each side. So we can see the flow factor here, 0.83 and 0.84, and that is regulated by the shutter opening and our forward speed. Just come into the headland. Electronic controls is allow us to turn off the fertiliser. Of course, if I had a full GPS system, the GPS switch would turn that off for me automatically. Then we travel forward a little bit, 10 meters or so, and then we turn back on the spreader again. As a natural spread pattern from the fertiliser, we'll push the fertiliser behind the machine. So for this spreader to work, the actual shaft is a torque sensor on it, and it's sensing the amount of torque that's needed to broadcast the desired fertiliser at the correct rate. So as it senses that, it knows where the actuator has to go to open and close to give you the correct setting. It's giving you this full rate control, which is normally associated with fertiliser spreaders with weight cells. Just on the diagram here you can see at the minute we have all our sections fully open. There's 4 sections on each side of the spreader, which gives you 4 section control. We can do this, we can adjust this section control manually, even though we have no GPS system, by simply turning off the sections here, here and here. So when I come to the short ground later on around the headlands, we can show you where we can decrease the actual spread width. Decreasing the spread width is simply dropping the fertiliser on a different place on the disc.
So on this machine, James, you have independent metering left and right. So if you've got a blockage on one side will open and close fast to let the blockage clear without upsetting the other side. So on normal fertiliser spreaders, if you get a blockage, both sides have to open together. But on this machine, you have individual metering on each side. So this is why this machine is so special compared to the other machines in the market.
And the fact that it can do this all without weight cells, there's no weight cell in any part of this machine, DJ?
No, you don't need weight cells with this machine because of the electronic mass flow technology. You have 3 sensors on the gearbox. The middle sensor is reading a free torque, and the 2 in sensors on each side of the gearbox are actually reading the torque from the disc that's required to correct application of fertiliser. So this means that every 3 or 4 milliseconds it's doing a self-calibration on the discs. So that's why this is so accurate, this machine. And every 20 minutes it does a self-calibration in the background in the control box itself.
And how DJ does the spreader know the speed that's coming from the PTO shaft of the tractor and the forward speed?
Yeah, in this machine with the sensors on the gearbox we can measure the PTO speed and we can read that on the clock, so it can measure the PTO speed on the constant controller all the time.